All right, yeah, let's do it. I'd rather watch the Tom Dark video about it than the Moist Critical video, only because I know there's probably going to be a little bit more like information in the Tom Dark video about it. So this, okay, let's check it out. So this is true crime YouTuber goes too far.
Will contain content not suitable for all viewers. It's about true crime stuff. So viewer discretion.
Let me just tell you something, by the way. True crime stuff, just on its nose, on its face, on its chin, on its eyeballs, is not healthy for you to be consuming. Let's be honest. All right. I feel like I've had people come in here because I'll say true crime makes you obsessed with like horrible things, and you filter your entire life through every single one of those terrible things. And I've had people come and say like, yeah, once I stopped engaging in true crime, my mental health got better. Like it warps and twists your brain in such a weird way, and I feel like there are people who are really into true crime on YouTube. And I feel like it's one of the reasons why we hyper-sensational, one of the many reasons why people hyper-sensationalize every inappropriate action that somebody makes on YouTube to the point where it becomes predatory. Like, they're bad, but they take it to the next level. And I feel like true crime is part of that mental twisting, I would almost call it.
Discretion is advised. True crime YouTube is a genre that has exploded in the last few years and really become one of the most popular mainstays of the online world. Channels like JCS Psychology, Wendigoon, and many others have risen to the forefront and built huge audiences from talking about morbid, obscene.
I feel like true crime and like conspiracy-esque is also linked together as well, and that's how you get the things where like the link of like where Bam Margera is being manipulated by his parents to make as much money as possible. Right, instead of like the reality that Bam has been, gone through a lot and has like a very public mental health crisis, especially with his best friend dying. Right, so
and disturbing stuff. Now, full disclosure, I like a lot of these channels. I find the stuff they do interesting, but one of those channels has gone too far, and I think it's something that more people should be talking about because it honestly disgusts me. True crime YouTuber charging audience for autopsy photo of murder victim. Zavgirl mostly covers breaking news stories and like new releases of footage or new information from various true crime stories, such as the Chris
Wait, she does breaking
releases of footage or new information from various true crime stories.
That's even worse to me. Doing breaking news on true crime stories, it sounds like horrible, because we know that breaking news information is what. I mean, that's the stuff that gets it wrong the most. No, it's like I got to be the first one to release something, and then they'll release some kind of potential misinformation. I feel like that's not necessarily a good thing. Okay.
Such as the Chris Watts case. But most recently, she decided to cover the story of Gannon Stauch. He was an 11-year-old boy from Colorado who was a part of what seemed to be a grand old happy family, but in January of 2020, he went missing and nobody knew where he went. His body was then found in a suitcase under a bridge hundreds of miles away in Florida. As it turns out, his 39-year-old stepmother was the main suspect in the case, and she recently was sentenced to life in prison for her crime. And for context of just how horrific this was, Stauch apparently stabbed him 18 times before hitting him in the head and shooting him. Extremely brutal stuff here. It's a horrific crime. It's disgusting. And obviously, when you're talking about a case like that, you need to tread lightly. You need to kind of, you're on thin ice. It's a disturbing case, and it's very recent as well. Prosecutors in the case claim that Stauch killed Gannon to hurt her husband, who was away at a National Guard deployment at the time of Gannon's disappearance and death. The judge also said he believed Stauch was motivated by hatred and jealousy of Gannon's mother, Lauren Bullard, according to AP.
That's insane. I mean, it makes you kill a kid? There's just there's no motivation for that. Like, oh, she was mad at the mom and dad? What the fuck? That's horrible. Jesus Christ, man. What a world, huh?
Before Stauch's sentencing in court on Monday, Gannon's father spoke to the courtroom and requested that her sentencing include a year for every mile she drove from Colorado to Florida, where she dumped Gannon's body in 2020, according to local affiliate Fox 21 News. The outlet reported that the judge told Stauch, "You took away everything Gannon was and everything he could have been." So this family's having a very hard time, obviously. They're
like, not for nothing, because I know people are always like sitting here and they're like, oh, we shouldn't do capital punishment, blah, blah, blah. Why? Like, truly speaking, not to be crude or harsh, what's the point of this woman living? Like, we know she I understand, like, oh, I don't want capital punishment for somebody that maybe they didn't do it, and, we, like, back in the day, there was bad forensic evidence, blah, blah, blah. I get that. I do. We know she did it. So, What's the point in wasting taxpayer dollars on her being in jail? What's the point? Why do we care? What benefit are we like? I don't know. I feel like this is one of those cases. This is crazy.
Grieving, and the perpetrator, who was Gannon's father's wife, okay, his stepmother, has just been sentenced to life in prison. It's so horrific that it feels like something out of a movie. Well, naturally, true crime YouTubers got a hold of this, and one of the people who picked up on the story was Zavgirl. But instead of covering the story in a tasteful manner and doing it justice and just trying to detail all of the facts of the situation, she had a different approach. She decided to charge $3 a month on her Patreon page for people to view photos of the kid's dead body. And not only that, but she's now defending this decision in statements where she basically makes the case that yes, she did do that, but this is transformative content, okay? She's not ripping anyone off. She's transforming the content of the autopsy photos, and that's what makes it okay, guys. That's what makes it fine, okay? She's no plagiarist.
Was she putting teddy bear stickers on it? Bro, that's like truly disgusting. I really do wonder, like, what happens in your life where you are so desensitized that you even think it's appropriate to even direct people in the direction of this, of pictures of this situation. Like, why would you even show people how to see it? Like, I'm already, on the fence about true crime, so I get it. But I mean, this is just insane, bro. Why would you even have that thought in your mind? But you know what? I want to charge people to see it behind a paywall. And then if that is her true defense, is like, well, I transformed the content. This isn't about whether you transform the content or not. I don't even care if you transform the content. This is about what? This is about the fact that you put it behind a paywall. You shouldn't even be introducing people to this content. That's insane.
Not stealing anything. She is making content. Hey, you all. So I got a bunch of Letitia Stauch case files I'm going to be releasing. So there's some new videos and info, and also some videos I played in court, but the quality wasn't the best, so I have the originals where it's not from a recording of a crooked TV screen. Lol. So if you're interested, keep your eyes out for my videos. I'm going to get them out as fast as I can. There's some that might take me longer, because, for instance, all the text messages I like to read for you. So those will take me some time, but I'm going to try to get them out as soon as I can. And the comments of this are filled with people talking about how gross it is that she decided to release photos of the kid's mangled and destroyed body on her Patreon for profit. A BA in psychology? I find that hard to believe. You didn't imagine the backlash you would get for doing something so reprehensible, for re-victimizing a family by distributing autopsy photos of a child behind a paywall. I hope you're happy with the money you've made exploiting a victim. Victims you claim to give a voice to. Zav, as you know, I've watched you for many years. I even called in to defend you on Queen Bee's channel when they were attacking you for your approach on the Kylie Rodney case. But this situation with Gannon's autopsy photos is just inexcusable. To say that I'm disappointed is an understatement. I'm disturbed. Thought you were better than to do that. Yeah, also, fair. Your catty dismissive comments to your viewers who disagree with you featuring graphic images of a murdered child makes it so much worse. You did not have any children. If you did, you would feel differently. My son is the same age as Gannon. What you did is wrong, and you need to do some serious soul searching. Bye, Tiff. Now, after seeing all this controversy and some articles published about it, Zavgirl decided to make a long public statement talking about it and why she feels she did not do anything wrong here. Which is insane to me, because when you're doing this true crime stuff, there's a level of integrity and a sort of line you have to walk, right? Because at the end of the day, all true crime videos are in nature somewhat...
Is this Zavgirl? She made her own defense of what she did? Yeah, Zavgirl is like... Oh, she made an apology.
Hi, everyone.
Okay. Let's see what we got. I'm just going to watch hers myself.
Everyone, if you're listening to this, then you likely know about the last few days. I want to apologize to everyone I've hurt, but especially Gannon's family.
Is this just like a southern twang thing that makes her seem like she's so disingenuous? What the fuck?
I've been doing some major soul searching.
Soul searching? What? You better find your soul, girl. What? How? I don't even know. There's like some things I just don't get how you fuck it up.
Reflecting. There are many trying to define my motivations. And while I'm not looking for forgiveness or trying to make excuses, I do hope to provide additional context that has not been made clear.
Honestly, I think that this would have been a lot better off if you... I don't know.
I have followed the Letitia Stauch case closely. And it was actually during the trial that I made the official records request. and it was in El Paso County, Colorado.
Okay.
I requested all the video, audio, and written records. I made no request for autopsy photos.
Is that another thing they do too? They request the specific stuff? They have to go out of their way to request it? I don't know. I just couldn't do it. Seems so weird to me. Okay.
I wanted all trial records, but my main interests were interviews with Letitia. The autopsy photos just happened to be in the files.
So you released them?
I spent time reviewing what I received so I could provide more info from the trial. I believe many of my images were already shown during the televised trial, and I saw the photos on other public YouTube channels that live streamed the trial.
Trying to find a better one.
And shared the evidence. I didn't think any of the images were new. These photos were already public, although the video I put together with the coroner's voice was my own creation. I chose to put the video on Patreon because of the sensitive nature of the evidence. Putting the evidence behind a paywall meant added security. And I naively thought...
I meant added security? They get the fuck out of here. I put it behind my Patreon for added security. What does that even mean? You don't believe that. That's not human. You're not being human right now if you unironically say I put it behind a paywall because I felt like it would protect the information better. No, you didn't. You put it behind a paywall so you can make money off of it. Like, if just at least admit it. Be like, you know what? This is the only apology I would have been like, I would have accepted, right? Guys, I messed up. That's it. I make this content and I was so desensitized because I make this content that I had a lapse in judgment and I made a big mistake and I should have never done that. That was really dumb and ignorant of me, and I feel like a fool. And like that was a huge lapse in judgment where like I consume this content so often that like I've just done something that a bad person would do. I would have accepted that. You know what I mean? Because that's like, okay, that's the only excuse. Like you've allowed yourself to become so desensitized that you basically become a monster with that, and you lost part of yourself, and now you need to reclaim it. Is this better? There we go. Hold on, I just got to get this over her. I just want to get this would make it a lot better. Her apology, I think. There we go. I think this would make it a little better. There we go. That's the only thing that you could really say, though.
It wouldn't be made public. The video I created with a voice from the coroner wasn't meant to be shared outside of Patreon, and I chose not to put the photos.
Yeah, but that's because you want to make money off of it, not because it was for protection.
On YouTube, a public forum, where the views would have allowed me to make more money, and the photos would be seen by more people. Because the video...
No, it wouldn't have allowed you to make more money because what's in there is too sensitive. YouTube would have fucking banned you, you idiot. You know that. You're lying. This isn't a real apology. This is a lie. I'm getting my ass fucking shifted right now. That's the real fucking
place behind a paywall. Rumors about the images not being blurred or being different than what was shown in trial started to surface. No photos shows genitalia. I have made no jokes about the photos.
Well, okay, so what I get when I hear her is what she says is that, guys, the photos were censored, and people are claiming that they're not censored. They're not naked. What that says to me is that they are not censored, but people aren't like when I heard this, I wasn't worried about nudity. I was worried about like a young person's body being mangled and like they were stabbed how many times? Like I didn't even think of it like that capacity censorship wise. I was more like, oh my god, like what happened? You know what I mean? So it suggests to me that she knows what she's saying is like this deceitful. So
I don't even cuss on my channel, and I would never allow derogatory remarks about a victim.
I don't even cuss on my channel.
I realized my intentions were not communicated well.
I don't even say the N-word. My channel style was sort
of me hanging out with friends and speaking off the cuff, and I did not articulate my reasons or think my decision through. At this time, my Patreon website has been shut down. I am not sharing any of the photos or video anywhere, although you can see the photos published on other popular channels. Nothing you see is from me, nor will ever be. To those who have supported me and followed my channel, and to the true crime community, I'm sorry I let you down. I cannot imagine the pain Gannon's family has gone through. My anger over what happened to Gannon is the reason I started following the case. I'm not this evil, heartless person like many are saying, but I'm also doing a lot of self-reflecting, and I'm looking into sensitivity training. I did not want to add to the family's loss with anything I said or shared about this case. And it will be a long time before I ever trust myself or my decisions again. To Gannon's family, I have no words that can make this better. No one should have to ever go through what you guys have been through.
Wow. You know what that she should have done?
Trust myself or my decisions again. To Gannon's family, I have no words that can make this better. No one should have to ever go through what you guys have been through. I am so very sorry for any pain that I've caused you.
Wow. That would have made it so much better, am I right, guys? Cowabunga, dude. Jesus, what an idiot. Oh my god. Why would she even do that? I don't know. Okay. Okay. Incredible. Let's continue.
Exploiting this stuff, right? But you have to do it in the right way and do it tastefully in a way that won't upset the victims, won't upset the families involved, and is not, you know, directly...
Well, that's the question. Do the victims know about it? Like, do the families know about it? Because that would be even worse, you know what I mean? Like, if they found out about it, because I would be so upset. I couldn't imagine. They lost their kid. I would already be upset enough as it is. Losing my kid, and then, like, that day, there's a true crime on about it. Sensationalizing it. But to have somebody, like, release the pictures, like, where's the intimacy and the privacy for these people anymore?
Making money off of, like, something so obscene, right? Like, you can make money off of the story, but making money off of distributing pictures of the dead kid, that's obviously a step too far. Well, here's what Zab Girl said, because she apparently doesn't feel bad for this at all.
I have followed the Letitia Stauch case closely, and it was actually during the trial that I made the official records request. I requested all the video, audio, and
I know we watched it already, but we're just going to watch it again.
I made no request for autopsy photos. I wanted all the trial
But I got them
records,
anyway.
But my main interests were interviews with Letitia. The autopsy photos just happened to be in the files. I believe many of my images were already shown during the televised trial, and I saw the photos on other public YouTube channels that live streamed the trial.
I feel like when it comes to this kind of stuff, like, this is just modern day, like, Coliseums now. People want some kind of violence. Like, people find violence entertaining in some way. It's just so... It's so bizarre to me. I mean, Jesus Christ. I don't know, man. My YouTube alert was
Jesus Christ super chatted $5. It's not too late for her. She can still release an apology with tears.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. Look, boom. This is all she has to do. Okay. This is all she has to do, bro. This is it.
And shared the evidence. I didn't think any of the images were new. These photos were already public, although the video I put together with the coroner's voice was my own creation. I chose to put the video on Patreon because of the sensitive nature of the evidence. Putting the evidence behind a paywall meant added security, and I naively thought they wouldn't be made public. The video I created with a voice from the coroner wasn't meant to be shared outside of Patreon. And I chose not to put the photos on YouTube, a public forum, where the views would...
I mean, it's beautiful stuff, don't you think? It's beautiful stuff. I'm actually kind of getting a kick out of this.
To make more money.
This nulls the pain a little bit. It dulls the pain for me a little, because this is such a horrible situation. It's helping a laugh a little here.
And the photos would be seen by more people. Because the video was placed behind a paywall, rumors about the images not being blurred or being different than what was shown in trial started to surface. No photos shows genitalia. I have made no jokes about the photos. I don't even cuss on my channel. And I would never allow that.
The problem isn't that it doesn't show genitalia. The problem is that you did show Gannon, bro. The kid. What the fuck is wrong with you? Let's skip through this. We've already watched this before. This is terrible. I'm not worried about Jenna. I'm worried about the kid. All jokes aside, this is horrible.
True. I am so very sorry for any pain that I have caused you.
She tried to make like an intellectual argument as to why she needed to distribute this and why she did nothing wrong. Big brain take here. I want to address what's going on right now with the Gannon autopsy / coroner video I created. Unfortunately, this seems to be something where people are very divided on how they feel about it, and I'm hearing a lot from both sides. Let's be real, you're not hearing from both sides. You're hearing one side angry at you, and then you are in your own little corner in your hug box being like, well guys,
who's defending the behavior? This is insane. Yeah, I'm hearing the both sides. Some people are like, you didn't release. What are some of the other people saying? You should have released his genitalia. Like, what are people saying? Like, what are we what's talking about here? What the fuck? What side is there? Like, what is this? Isn't like a fucking political discussion here. Nobody would ever defend. This is insane. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
We need to hear both sides of the aisle, okay? Maybe there's people who agree with me. Nobody agrees with you. The reality of the situation is that different people feel differently about this. Some people genuinely think making a video including the autopsy photos is bad, and I respect their opinion and feelings. Other people, like myself, think of autopsy photos and the coroner discussing / explaining them as interesting and informative and are able to view them in a more scientific, detached way.
I mean, what?
It's just one of those things where it depends on the person. I'm not adamantly against taking down the video if people are truly unhappy with it, and I will absolutely consider doing this. But right now, it seems that there are a lot of other people who are acting in bad faith and creating lies for fun and excitement in order to pit others against me. I understand some of you have issues with me charging money on Patreon for the video. If I was charging money for the autopsy files alone or something like that, I'd see your point. But in this case, I spent a lot of time and worked hard. You worked hard, really, putting together a video lining up the coroner's audio and descriptions, along with the appropriate part of the photo she's describing, and editing it together to try and make it as informative as possible for the viewer. That is what I am charging for, which I would hope you can agree is understandable. I actually do not agree. It's not understandable.
Why not just talk about the video without the fucking autopsy photos? Like, why don't you just give the parents some level of privacy? Not that hard to do that, you know? Like, just the one thing. Minor concession, you know? You know, that's it. God, this is so annoying. Hot take, right? Hot take.
It's straight up deplorable. It's not like she's just releasing this material publicly for people to have for archival purposes or anything like that. This is not education. She's advertising the photos of a dead kid's body as a way for her to make money. It's extremely disturbing to spread these types of images so carelessly. Unlike most cases where there's an argument for educational or documentary context, this feels like a step over the line, as it's directly exploiting the victim and the family's misfortune for a spectacle. You're capitalizing on the demand to see an 11-year-old's dead body and marketing yourself with it and monetizing it. You're withholding info from the public, which firstly undermines any potential altruistic purpose or educational purpose. You're withholding that, instead trying to profit from dangling the photo of a dead child's body in front of your audience. It feels similar to the Porsche girl case, where the family was constantly reminded of the worst moment of their lives because once it got online, the internet spammed them with photos of their daughter's mangled corpse. Like, if this is so educational, please explain the educational value or constructive benefit of showing this to anyone, and please explain why charging $3 a month is necessary for that as well. Like, if it is for that purpose, which is already pretty out there and dumb in my mind, but whatever, maybe we could take your word for it, why do you need to directly make money from it? To me, it feels like you got a hold of these photos and were like, ooh, how can I directly profit from pictures of a dead person? I got the scoop. How can I make this into content in the most tasteless manner possible? It really is nasty, man. Now, Gannon...
Well, yeah, I guarantee she was like, wow, this is some really raunchy shit, and I want to have... And these pictures are gruesome, so I'm going to work on my Patreon by being like, guys, there's horrible, disgusting, gruesome pictures of a dead kid. If you want to go pay $3 a month to go see it, you know, I mean, you could just go to 4chan and see it for free, if we're being honest here, but, you know, that's what it is. No, I didn't say that. Don't do that. But like, you know, that's where you see all those horrible cartel videos. You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's fucking wild.
Stauch's father also did an interview talking about this and how he finds it pretty reprehensible.
Jeez.
And it forced him to relive the trauma of the situation.
That's horrible. Oh, they do know about it.
We just finished the trial just over 2 months ago, Brian, and now we're having to kind of relive some of this stuff and not being able to put it behind us.
By the way, that's to everybody. I know that this $3 girl was the one who sparked it. But this is like more than anything else. It's kind of like even other true crime people who aren't like crossing that line. They're still like triggering the parents and shit. Let's just be real. I mean, like, you know, since it doesn't make national news, it's obviously not going to be as triggering. but it's still going to be something that's going to be really upsetting to them if they did see it. Because like, imagine they go on YouTube and they see their kid. You know what I mean?
I think for me, like, what really pushed it over the edge was...
Oh, look, the 5 videos about my dead kid here. Let me... Oh, they're all over my page. Can't get rid of them.
the charging the money. I mean, obviously posting it alone would be disgusting, but then charging money to see those photos, it's really, really just awful.
The word I use to describe it is evil, Brian. The world got enough information from the trial to have every discussion they want to have. Why do we need to go have a freedom of information request and pay for this kind of information and then dishonor my son by putting these photos out?
Where did this happen? Where did this happen? What state was this in? Was it? What did they say? It's crazy. Colorado, I guess. It's crazy that you can even get access to this information. Like, why is this even available to people? To like the general population. Oh, fuck me.
Out there like that. I mean, the world got to see it. I don't know how well you followed it, but the only day I chose not to come to the trial was the day that they showed the autopsy photos. Now I feel like I can't even go on YouTube without the possibility of accidentally coming across these photos.
Now, when asked if he would pursue legal action, Al Stauch said, "I'm just emotionally and psychologically and financially maxed out from the last 3+ years of this process."
Oh yeah, he's obviously not going to go. He's probably not going to sue. This shit's draining, man. It just, like, if he sues for him emotionally, that's just going to continue everything that's going on even further. Like, he's still engaging in it. He can't move on from it because he's not going to sue just for his own, like, you know, mental state.
To take legal action, I don't know if I have that in me. So it seems like she's not going to get sued or anything like that. He's not going to, you know, really target her. He just doesn't have it emotionally in him. And I don't blame him for that. That being said, I hope Zav Girl learns her lesson here and does not do something like this again, because it reflects poorly on the true crime community in general. And beyond that, the more important issue, obviously, is that it clearly hurt one of the victims in this case. I think that when covering stuff like this, you have to be super careful with how you report it and conduct yourself. And it sucks to see someone go about it in such a scummy way. You guys know me.
You know, me personally, and listen, like, I would never implement a rule or anything. This is just how I personally feel. I don't think anybody who does true crime is like a bad person, except for the Zav Girl. But I feel like, if anything, you know, you're almost... I feel like you shouldn't be doing stuff that's like... I don't know. If the victims are like still alive in some capacity, I don't know. I get it. It kind of goes against some people's ability to make the content, but I feel like, you know, you still got these people are alive, and you're making content about it like that, about their horrific circumstances of like somebody's death or something. Like, you know, the family's still alive. You get my point? I just feel like there should be like a statute limitation, like 10 years or something. Just from a taste perspective. But I get, you know, that's just me personally. I don't particularly care for it. I know I'm just a lazy fucking reaction streamer or whatever, but that true crime stuff's like fucked up and morbid, man. It's just fucked up.
Really someone to, like, you know, moral F-slur about a lot of this stuff, because I find that really cringy. But with this one in particular, I found it pretty outrageous and insulting, and I don't know. I feel for the family. I hope that nobody does stuff like this again, even though they undoubtedly will at some point. Hopefully, at least everyone involved in this situation learns their lesson. And if you liked this video, consider becoming a member. For $5 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts, unreleased videos.
Whoa! Crazy. All right, cool. Yeah, go do that.